Hey guys, Necroxis here, and finally the big day has come. We got the World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor introduction cinematic has come out, and I just released my Spires of Iraq finale, and immediately all the comments were, what did you think about the cinematic? So I decided I'll make this video instead of mentioning it repeatedly in the comments. This will be my complete, full thoughts about the cinematic, what I think about it, what I liked and what I didn't like. So, the cinematic. I thought it was fantastic, but I had one tiny gripe, and then I had a major problem with something else. I think everything was just animated so beautifully. Blizzard, as always, their animations, their cinematics are just fucking fantastic. I thought it was a very interesting choice to kill off Manaroth in the introduction cinematic of all things. I hadn't said this on any of my videos, but I always kind of found it odd that Manaroth was never referenced, even though the premise of the expansion is they did not drink Manaroth's blood. So I was kind of curious what happened, why he never was brought up, why Gul'dan at the very least never said anything about him in the game. And now I guess we find out why, because he gets killed by Grom. And so I like that. Well, I'm not sure if I like it or not, but it's interesting nonetheless. I don't know. Again, it's hard for me to put my finger on if I like it or not. I guess it makes sense. Because, you know, actually, it's an interesting change. I can't even logic why it would make sense. It doesn't really. It's just kind of an interesting storytelling choice they made. So, you know, that was pretty nifty, if nothing else. I like the callback to Warcraft 3 when Grom kills him and he's standing in front of, like, the fire that's about to hit him. And, of course, if you played Warcraft 3, you know that's how Grom dies. When he kills Manaroth in Warcraft 3, he takes the full brunt of the fire, and that's how he's killed. But Garrosh is shown this event by Thrall in Burning Crusade, if you remember, in Nagrand. You see Thrall show him this event. So Garrosh knows what's going to happen if Manaroth gets killed, and so then Garrosh saves him. And they harken back to Warcraft 3, and I thought that was awesome. That was really, really cool. It kind of was like spine-tingling kind of awesome, if you know what I mean. Something that you think is so nifty that you kind of get like a little chill when it happens. I thought that was really good. Overall, I thought it was very, very well crafted. We kind of knew it was going to be about drinking the blood or refusing the blood when Gul'dan's comic came out, and they were talking about they were making it a big deal to lead up to the blood drinking ritual in the comic, and then they made some kind of tweet or reference that was vaguely hinting that's what it was going to be about. So, you know, from that aspect, that was cool. My tiny gripe was that Grom's face didn't look right to me. I don't know what... Like, his face was a little too fat, and his nose was way too big, and he looked kind of like he had a pig's head. Like, that's my biggest problem. My problem I'm trying to say with Grom is, it looks like his head was like a pig's head. Like, his nose was way too big just to have that one nose ring in it. I don't know, his cheeks were too fat, his whole face his head was just not right, I feel like. Especially compared to Warcraft 3, because I went to go watch Warcraft 3's cinematic with Grom when he dies after I watched this, because I wanted to see it again, because they made direct reference to it. And I know that stuff changes, and Warcraft 3 came out, what, like, in 2000? So, or like 2001? So, like, 13 years ago, and I know that the art can't be exactly the same. But I feel like Grom bulks up more than he was, and he already was significantly bulked up. But I feel like he got too bulked up to where his head got really fat and looked awkward. So that's not really too big of a deal. I just kind of found it funny, are the words that I tried to say. But my mouth and my brain could not coordinate there. But, so, I can ignore that. It's not like a big deal at all. My biggest problem was Gul'dan, and I've seen people on Twitter and on my video say that they liked Gul'dan in the cinematic, and I can see where they're coming from a surface level, because I thought the same thing too, but after the cinematic ended, I thought about it for a couple seconds, and then I realized I really didn't like what they did with Gul'dan, because for those of you who don't know, Gul'dan's my favorite character, so this might be coloring the issue a little bit too much. I might, like, I guess, make it seem like it's too big of a deal because he's my favorite character, but I still think it's a legitimate issue that should be talked about. I feel like there's a very huge disconnect between how Gul'dan is in the lore, especially in Warlords of Draenor, how he acts, what he's doing, his mentality, the level of power he seems to have, his attitude, and then compare that to the cinematic that we just saw, and I feel like in the cinematic, he comes across like a fucking pathetic little mewling weakling child. Like, where he's, like, cowering away from Grom, and it's... Or Garrosh, I guess it was, in that scene where Garrosh picks him up and says, like, blah, 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 things change, or whatever. But that's not the Gul'dan. That's not Gul'dan. That doesn't make any sense. The only time that ever happened to Gul'dan was when Ogrim Doomhammer literally killed all of the Shadow Council and was about to murder him, and then Gul'dan kind of struck a bargain. But that whole scene always, to me, felt like Gul'dan was just playing him, and he knew that he was going to be able to survive by offering Doomhammer the Death Knights. But in this case, I felt like they made him such a mewling little wimpy child. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. He should have done something. Gul'dan does literally nothing the entire cinematic. He offers Grom the blood, Grom refuses it, and he cowers away. The whole thing happens with Manaroth. And then Gul'dan at some point falls on the ground, I guess. I don't know how that happens, because... You see him laying on the ground after Manaroth is dead, but the last time you saw him before that, he just kind of steps away. And he's, like, cowering a little bit before Manaroth, which I could understand for Manaroth. He's fucking Manaroth. He's, like, one of the most powerful demons in the Burning Legion. But Gul'dan, even before he was a warlock, he was noted for being exceptionally powerful as a shaman. And becoming a warlock even further increased his level of power. He should not be cowering behind from no fucking Garrosh, especially, or Grom, especially of Garrosh, because Garrosh is like half hurt, and he's injured, and he's not doing anything. He has no weapons, and Gul'dan has like his fel magic if he would have used it. I felt like they should have made Gul'dan do something else. And it could have been, like, two wildly different things that would have been cool with it. He could have been fighting alongside Manaroth. Maybe you see him just indiscriminately killing a couple orcs here and there. And then after Manaroth is killed, he, like, either gives up or he gets, taken down by somebody and gets captured because they need to use him to power the portal. Or they could have had him try to escape. You don't tell me that... Okay, let's see this. He offers Grom the blood and Grom refuses. Manaroth shows up and they start fighting. If you're Gul'dan, and Gul'dan's a smart motherfucker, remember in our universe he orchestrated everything that happened to the orcs. I mean, granted he was trying to enslave them to kill Jaden and the Legion, but all Kill Jaden said was, if you enslave your Legion to me, I'll give you power. Gul'dan said, sounds good, buddy, and then he went about doing everything. He made the Shadow Council, he manipulated the election of Blackhand, he did all of this stuff, he drove the orcs into a frenzy to kill the Draenei, he did all of this stuff on his own. He did all that by himself. He's a smart motherfucker. You're telling me if Grom and Manaroth and the other forces that are in the area start fighting, Gul'dan doesn't realize that he's already lost? Like, his goal has already failed, and he doesn't try to get the fuck out of there? We see him in Warlords of Draenor just be able to just teleport whenever he wants, so why... You don't think that he would just try to escape? I'd be even fine with it, and I'd be totally happy with it. Like, I would have no qualms whatsoever if he just tried to, like, book it and escape. Even if he just ran, and they catch him at the end, because they need him to power the portal, and we know he's already been captured by the time the introduction happens. Even if he would have did that, but don't just fall randomly on the ground and start cowering from Garrosh. I mean, come on. That's my biggest problem with the cinematic. Gul'dan he acts totally, like, antithetical to every single other piece of lore we have about him. Even in Warlords, he acts different. He acts totally different. In Warlords, he's like, I'll see you again when you free him. And he goes, I'll remember your face. I'll see you again. And then you meet him in Frostfire or Shadow Moon, and he's like, it's not my time yet. I'm not that easy. Ha ha ha. And he sicks your guy on. He sicks I don't remember their names, either the chick or the Draenei guy on you, depending on where you're at. In Talador, he's basically like, Terran Gore, we're gonna fucking murder everybody and take over Arkandun. And then, it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand why they chose to make him seem such like a weakling and a coward. Because Gul'dan may have groveled for his life when Doomhammer, like I already explained, when Doomhammer tried to kill him. I always took that, though, as kind of like Gul'dan was playing Doomhammer. It never seemed like Gul'dan was ever cowardly, like, ever. And the cinematic is the first time I felt that way. So, that's my problem with it. And because it's a story problem, I don't know how to judge, I don't know how to rate the trailer. Because the trailer is supposed to be the introduction to the expansion. So, on one hand, I can say, well, does it adequately explain or set up what's going to happen in the expansion? And yes, it does. It does it amazingly well. But then I can also say, does the story of the trailer make sense and is consistent? And I'd have to say no. I'd have to say no just because of Gul'dan. It doesn't make sense. It's not consistent. Gul'dan's character is not consistent. So I don't know what to rate the trailer. I guess I just won't. I guess I'll just say I really, really like everything except for Gul'dan and Grom's face a little bit. I don't fucking really care that much about it. I just wanted to point it out because it was weird. And then when I mentioned it on Twitter, I got a whole bunch of flack from talking about Grom's face. That was the biggest thing people got upset about. Whatever. People can be pissed or whatever they want. I don't fucking care. So that's my thoughts about the trailer. It was very, very good, very well crafted. One of the best trailers I think they've ever done. I think if I had to rate it amongst the other expansion trailers, I'd probably have it tied for first with Wrath of the Lich King. Because I thought the Wrath of the Lich King trailer with Arthas, like, freeing Sindragosa from the ice was just, oh my god, it was amazing. And I felt that same way with this until it ended, and then I thought about Gul'dan. So maybe I'll say Wrath and then Warlords of Draenor is second. I think that's what I'll go with. But that's it. That's my thoughts. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know what you think about my thoughts as well as the trailer in the comments below. I'll make sure to read them. Feel free to disagree, because everyone that I've talked to thus far seems to disagree with me. People seem to just think I'm just complaining to complain, but I'm not. I just explained like a whole bunch why I liked it a lot, so whatever. But yeah, leave all that in the comments below. I'll be sure to read them, and stay tuned in, what's today, Friday? Tomorrow, Sunday. We are beginning the Grand and our playthrough. I'm doing one episode every other day now. So the Spires of Iraq finale came out today. I'm saying finale, but you have to watch the video to understand why. But the Spires of Iraq finale is out today, and then we're going to begin the Grand on Sunday. So thanks for watching. Or wait, what's today? Thursday. So Saturday. I lied. Excuse me. I keep thinking today's Friday because we're recording about Waither's Lore today, and that's usually something we do on Fridays. So sorry. I'll see you on Saturday for the beginning of the Grand. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you then. Farewell.